Pretty soon, we're going to be at a point where photographic and video evidence may no longer be admissible in court. Oh man, you're overreacting, buddy. Dude, fucking AI isn't even that good yet. Yet. It's not that good yet. But where is it going to be in like 5, 10 years from now? Shit, even 2 years from now. I mean, the rate at which these programs are coming out is exponential. It is immense. It's hard to keep up with. It's overwhelming. It seems like there's something new and something newly mind-blowing released every single day. I spent the last night or two looking over some AI produced images that I saw, mainly from Stable Diffusion and MidJourney, which in my opinion seem to be leading the way in text to image generation. Some content it's produced is so impressive that it really takes a second glance to realize that it was made by a machine and it wasn't captured on a real camera by a real person. This one image here of a young child playing scientist looking into a microscope. This one really threw me off because I had a hard time believing that it's not real. It's mind-blowing, honestly. The thing is about AI images is that there's usually some kind of like indicator besides just looking at it really closely, because once you blow these images up in resolution, once you increase the size of them, that like weird kind of halo it has becomes more and more glaringly obvious. And this one definitely does too. I'm not, denying that. And I guess the biggest indicator would be, like most AI images, the fingers, because it's always the hands that get fucked up. But otherwise, this image is incredibly impressive. This next one was also really impressive because, the girl in the front looks pretty real. I mean, it's definitely obviously, computer animated, and then once you kind of look at some of the bros in the back, I don't know, it looks like they had a rough time in the fetus, if you know what I mean. Now, what's really interesting about this is that if you look closely, you can see like a stock image watermark. They look like they're like hieroglyphics or some kind of symbols or something. I just think it's interesting that, AI, it knew to like include that because that's what it was trained on what to do. And I'm not explaining this well, but I remember seeing this TED Talk of this woman describing that, the biggest, kind of, I guess, problem with AI is that it takes everything to a super literal objective level. And that'll be like the biggest kind of problem we as humans have, working with it. Now, AI is also known to have been make kind of like weird, but also kind of cool abstract shit like this, like llama watermelon. This one is really interesting to me, fucking dog man. This is crazy because I actually had this like weird fucking like dream where like a dog person, like a creepy ass dog person was like breaking into my room. Yeah, this shit low key gives me PTSD. I also thought this image of a cat was interesting. I mean, that is a gorgeous cat. That is truly a remarkable kitty.
Are you insane? Stop attacking. Immediately.
This was a set of images I found particularly creepy. So this first image is, I don't know, this looks like some fucking trailer park in Oklahoma or something. This is another kind of hallmark of an AI image, is that the faces aren't symmetrical. And I know human faces aren't exactly symmetrical all the time, but it gives this very like deformed, like malnourished look almost. I don't know how to describe it. And one of the creepiest parts of this is, of course, there's this abomination on the wall. I don't know what the hell that is. The other biggest indicator, besides just everything that this is an AI photo, is the hands. AI notoriously has a hard time with hands, producing the fingers. I don't know what it is about it, but hey, I mean, to be fair, humans have a pretty hard time producing that shit too and drawing. This photo kind of stuck out to me because it's the contrast between the family, at least I think it's a family, and then the dog is, the dog looks like it was like, I don't know, like hyper realistic drawn, but then implanted in the photo. I presume this is like the next door neighbor of that fucking kid with the shotgun we just saw. I know we're getting into the AI lore multiverse now.
Way to the living without a brain seminar. Don't be late. Turkey sandwich.
But yeah, that dog's eyes, it's just something about it stares right into my soul. Going forward, that AI has a hard time with animals and shit, especially when it's like some kind of like trophy animal on the wall is like whatever the fucking hell this thing is supposed to be, like a cow or something. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that like video from like 2012. Another image I thought interesting was this like C-3PO blonde lady at like an 80s nightclub. This shit looks like it's like straight up out of a different universe or something. We got bro next to her, and this guy looks like he looks like a mannequin zombie or something. He's holding two devices, two like flip phones or something, but it's like this picture looks like it was taken in the 80s. I don't know. This photo really kind of fucked with me the first time I saw it yesterday. Further evidence for my theory that AI doesn't know what the hell animals are is this fucking image. This one also I found particularly eerie and uncanny, simply because like, first off, the concerned and kind of like startled look this guy has. He looks like your typical like fucking Kentucky 1980s man or something. This bowl looks like it was also like almost oil painted and then plastered onto this like otherwise very realistic looking image of grandpa snoozing in his bed.
Cinco scariest jumpscares. Warning, scary alert. Número 5.
Onto some more lighthearted content. I thought this looked like Joe Rogan.
The reason that white people are inferior is because they don't have enough melanin in their skin.
But now I'm more likely to believe this is Jeff Bezos at the fucking Trojan horse gifting. And when was that? 1184 BCE, I think. I also found this this one on Reddit. This one said if bears were like hiking buddies with you. I thought this one was kind of cute because it's like the machine is treating like the bear as it's like a friendly dog or something, like a friendly canine companion. This one cracked me up a little because it's God, I don't even know how you pronounce his name. The fucking president or whatever the equivalent is in China leading a gay pride parade. Yeah, this one is pretty goofy.
I just shoved a nuke up my pussy.
Now, arguably, I think this one is hands down, I don't know about hands down, but I think this one is arguably the best photo, besides for the obvious glaring thing. But I mean, this photo alone, which I believe was produced by MidJourney, this one looks like it was taken on like a fucking iPhone 6 in like 2014 or something.
El que quiera perder el tiempo y no te video que lo pida.
Esa era mala noticia.
I mean, besides the fucking huge abomination from hell standing next to the woman, which if I didn't know any better, I would think that's like a prosthetic suit from like a fucking movie set or something. The woman looks remarkably realistic. I mean, even her skin looks fucking so, I don't know, it's just so on point. This thing looks like a special effects suit or something. I don't know. This one was arguably the most realistic in my opinion. I feel like we're at a point where, or almost at a point where this is going to become, I don't want to say indistinguishable from reality, because I mean, we're definitely going to get there, but this is going to muddy the waters. Muddy the waters more than it already is. The other key question here is this theft? Is AI art theft? And this is a very hotly debated topic right now, and there's so many different views on it. A lot of people, especially artists and creative types, as you know, being one myself, would say yes. I could definitely see that position, and I see why a lot of people jump to that position. I heard a story about when CGI came out in like the 70s and 80s and really broke into the mainstream film industry in the late 80s and 90s. There were a lot of people concerned that they had very similar sentiments as to what's going on right now. They felt that that was theft, that it's not real, it's not original, it's not definitive of you as a creative type. People said the same thing apparently when sound was introduced into movies, when color was introduced into movies. I've heard that when Photoshop was introduced, people had a very strong reaction against it. But I feel like respectably, this is something very different. All you're doing right now is you're putting in a prompt. Reasonably, that prompt has to be very fine-tuned, tweaked multiple times to get the desired outcome, whatever the hell that may be. And one of the opposing arguments to that AI art is theft is that art is really just an idea. It's really just an emotion, or it's an interpretation or a desired emotion that the artist wants to give. I am not the best person to describe this shit, dude. There's some reasonable points being made on both sides, you know, and if you think about it, a lot of art, if not everything, is already derivative of another piece of existing artwork. So you can see where the dilemma exists and why this is not as clear-cut of an issue. Definitely one thing I think that we can agree on is that there's going to be some pretty big changes, pretty big radical changes coming soon. This is almost inarguably going to affect society for better or for worse. We don't really know. I am very concerned about the future. You know, considering this is in a lot of these devices are in the hands of these huge corporations that really only have a profit incentive as their motivation, and considering the stark competition between the blossoming AI industry, these fucking executives and developers, they might not really have a reason to slow down, you know? They just want to, it's full steam ahead for these guys. So things are going to get fucking weird and soon, dude. In the meantime, I'm going to keep making shitty videos on YouTube. So thanks for watching.
Hello, Gordon Freeman. It's good to see you. No!